Hi everyone, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. You know that I'm always in thrift shops looking to recreate high-end styles in our home for a lot less than retail. And today I'm using thrifted finds to create 4 beautiful holiday tablescapes for pennies on the dollar. I'll show simple but beautiful looks for both fall gatherings and Christmas with no pumpkins or batteries required. Come on and join me and let's set the table. Hi everyone and welcome. Diving right into tablescaping, let's talk about step 1, which is creating a beautiful base layer. If you've been wondering if tablecloths are out of style, they aren't. Having said that, not every tablecloth is going to look stylish. I'm loving the rich prints that I'm seeing on designer sites, but a solid color or bare table is always classic as well. I think the main thing is to choose a quality material like cotton or linen, and I try and stay away from plastic, cloths, or any material that's too shiny or glitzy since it can come across as kind of cheesy, but to each his own. I also decide which dishes I'm going to use by seeing how they're going to contrast against the base layer that I've chosen, which I'll show you in the next examples. Instead of sitting your plates directly on the table, layering placemats, chargers, or both under your place setting can add warmth, texture, and welcome to your table and give it a higher end feel. What kind of centerpiece you can accommodate depends on your table size and setup. For instance, if you plan to serve your meal all on the table or if the dishes will be elsewhere. Where things can go wrong with a centerpiece is if it's not to scale. Something too tiny for a large table will look puny, and then again, something too large can block diners' views. A tip that I've heard is that any tall element you want to incorporate should be as thin as possible, like a tape or candle, for instance, so that people can see around it. Without further ado, let's get into my look number 1. For me, look number 1 is going to start with this beautiful brown checkered lightweight cotton tablecloth. Now this is actually a curtain panel that I'm no longer using, but it works perfectly as a tablecloth too. So for me, this is a very season neutral look, and I love to use this in the fall and winter especially though. So in the case of the checkered cloth, which is a heavier pattern and more rustic, after my base layer of these woven chargers to add texture, I'm choosing my most delicate and elegant dishes and glassware. My china has a fine detail around the edge and a silver edging, and I'm using our stemmed glasses versus regular drinking glasses. I'm also going to go with mostly glass serving dishes to help keep the tabletop airy and elegant to contrast with the dark and more rustic leaning tablecloth. Now, in case you're wondering, the china that we're using is thrifted. A couple of years ago, we found the whole set and it is really beautiful, as is all of the glass servingware that you see in this look. And I will link to the utensils and the chargers in case you are interested in those. In the center for the centerpiece here, I'm using this wreath turned down on its side, and I love this look because of the high impact and the ease. You just pop it in the center. I'm using a thrifted glass piece in the middle of that, as well as a flameless candle to complete this centerpiece look, and how easy was that? I love the way that these faux dried florals on this wreath look against the checkered tablecloth. I think that it's so beautiful, subtle, and simple for the Thanksgiving holiday or any fall gathering. And here you can see the silver edging and the little bit of detail on the china that I was talking about to really bring a little bit of elegance to this look. I'm also using a couple of vintage pieces here with some of the silverware and the other salt and pepper shaker set. Now, as for napkins, I thrifted this brown set a while back. You may have seen it if you've been watching the channel. And this you can just lay in the center of the plate if you just want to get this done quickly. I always like to try and do something fancy with my napkins because they're honestly my favorite part of setting the table. So I thrifted these napkin ring holders as well, this little brass kind of tied bow tassel thing. I love these so much. I think that they were like $1 for the whole set of maybe 6 or 8 of them. I'll have to check, but I love those. I'm just using them in this look, just classic, kind of pulled through the napkin ring. Another accent that looks really nice during the fall and winter holidays is a simple dried orange garland. So I'm just making up a little bit of that today, cutting up some oranges. You want to cut them nice and thin, bake them at around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 93 degrees Celsius, in your oven for about 3 hours. You want to flip those over about every hour and just keep an eye on them so that they don't get too dark. Once those are done, just let them cool off and they are ready to go. I'm just popping some of these around that wreath in the center for a little bit of added fun, and I think that that really looks beautiful alongside of the wreath. I love this look, and one of the reasons I wanted to share it with you is because it's so extremely simple and will not cause you any extra stress for the holidays. You don't have to bring in batteries, you don't have to worry about twinkly lights or anything too fancy or hard to set up, but I think that it's a really impactful look. And as a little bonus look, here's how this whole setup looks without the tablecloth. If you're just going for a bare table, I think it's still really beautiful. Now I'm going to be adding in these small checkered placemats right underneath the charger. You can actually layer those right on up, use both of them, and so this is a nice look if you don't have a tablecloth, but still to add a lot of that layer and textured look. I absolutely love it. Now for an easy way to just switch this over to Christmas using the same tablecloth, the same dishes and chargers and everything, you can see that I've just switched out the napkins and changed the centerpiece so that it's a piece of garland with some little gold bells going around it. I'm going to show you how to do this Christmas tree napkin fold really quick right here because this is so simple and so elegant. You start by just folding the napkin into half, and then you half that again so that you have a square. You want to turn the square so that it's facing you like a diamond, and then start folding each layer of that down towards you, leaving a little extra space for each one as shown. After you fold down all 4 layers, find the center line that up really straight, and make yourself a diagonal fold to make one side of the Christmas tree. Do the same thing on the other side, just tucking those behind. You can stop right here if you want. This already has a Christmas tree look, but if you want to finish it off to the look shown, take each flap and tuck it under carefully to make a straight line. Tuck the bottom under as well, and you have a finished Christmas tree. I think that these are so cute, and honestly I couldn't resist making these in one of every color that I had just to show you what they looked like. I love it in the red and the cream. I also tried it out in a couple of different green colors as well as the brown. So getting back to the table, all I changed here to switch this to Christmas again was the centerpiece and the napkins. I like the idea of having this tray empty in the center because we need to picture actual food on the table as well. For this look, I'm imagining the turkey or the ham or whatever you're serving for Christmas being the star of the show in the center, with just a simple garland around the side to make it seem festive for Christmas. These candles were thrifted and I absolutely love them. Look how moody they are. They're huge chunky black candles with this gold marbling effect. I got both of those for just 25 cents and I absolutely love those. I'm also adding some of my dark red velvet ribbon that you guys watched me cut from a velvet pair of pants, actually from the thrift shop after washing, of course, into strips of ribbon. I'm loving that. I'm going to be using that as my accent ribbon around the house for Christmas holiday, and I think it looks beautiful here on the table as well. Could also add in a couple of other accent pieces if you had room, like these little reindeer or one or two other things, but I just like to keep things pretty simple and elegant for the Christmas season. And I can't resist, because you know how much I love napkins, showing you another napkin fold really quickly. For this one, you're going to start with a triangle that is facing you, fold down the top, then fold 2 rows upward so that you end up with a strip like this. Then just take each side and fold them down diagonally. Gather up one side and get yourself a napkin ring and slide the whole side through. And you have a little bow made out of a napkin. I think that this is really cute too and very festive, especially for the Christmas season. So this is another option that you could use on your table that would look really sweet at Christmas time, or the Christmas tree. You guys will have to let me know which one you prefer in the comments. I think they're both so sweet. You can also, if you want to take it one step further, add just a little bit of ribbon or bow around the back of your dining chairs. That will really just add another touch. I think that this is such a sweet look, both the Thanksgiving and the Christmas version. After a brief interlude, I'm ready to move on to look number 2. We're going to be doing again another Thanksgiving, another Christmas look. So for this look, I'm starting with this tablecloth, which is a much bolder pattern that's going to bring a lot of life to the party all on its own. Now, I wish I had picked this up at the thrift store, but I bought this one new from Amazon. It reminded me a lot of one sold at McGee Co, but for a lot less money. I love it. I will link it for you in case you're interested. But after the woven chargers, which I'm using again, I am using a different dish set on this one because I wanted to choose something heartier and more substantial to offset that floral, instead of dishes that were too feminine or delicate. So I'm using this set that I found at the thrift store this summer. Absolutely love this melamine set, the simple rim and the kind of chunky look of it. And for this look, I'm actually going to be using blue napkins instead of something like brown or orange or a classic Thanksgiving color. I think that blue is pretty multi-seasonal as well, and I just think this is really pretty. So as you can see, I'm showing you yet another napkin fold that you can watch and try. I did a series of folds that look very similar to the Christmas tree one there, and then I'm just rolling it up onto the side. When you fold it this way, you have such a nice place to slide utensils into those little pockets and style it that way instead of laying them to the side of the plate. And so just changing it up for this look, I really like this one as well. Since I'm going to be featuring the dried orange slices again in this look, I'm also tucking one of them into the fold, as well as a piece of rosemary that I just clipped from the yard. Those napkins, by the way, are McGee Co, but I actually found them at the thrift store for $1 for the set of 4. I was really happy about that find. And so this is my look, moving faster through this one. I'm not setting the whole thing for you piece by piece, but here is the look I've gone for in the center to kind of echo the Denim Blue Napkins. I have this kind of charcoal inky colored vase that's from Hobby Lobby with some dried florals in it, which I also think go for any season. And you can see instead of that wreath in the center, I've spread the dried orange slices out across the whole center of the table, more like a runner almost. I'm using a few more pieces of servingware that are solid rather than just glass to kind of offset the floral pattern, and I've also added in lots of pine cones along the center. So the orange slices and the pine cones are kind of running along the center of the table, almost like you would drape a garland. I'm really liking how all of this looks together. I think that it's kind of the perfect blend of rustic touches with the woven and the dishes with the heavy rims, combined with a delicate touch with the florals, and still using some stemware and some glassware. But I just think that I love the way that this all comes together, and I think that it's such a simple Thanksgiving look. Now to switch that over one more time into a Christmas look, keeping the same tablecloth. Again, I've just switched out the napkins, which I switched to those chocolate brown ones, but tied with a little bit of dark red velvet ribbon, and added the rosemary right beside it. And I've switched out the florals in the vase in the center as well to just some Norfolk pine stems, which I'm using around the house for Christmas this year. I also tied a piece of that dark red velvet ribbon around the center of the vase just for a little added touch. And I added some candles in a deep brown that's almost a deep red color in the candle holders that are thrifted. So many things on this table are thrifted. The dishes themselves, the napkins, all of the servingware, I believe, almost every piece of that is thrifted. I did buy the Norfolk pine stems, the tablecloth, and the chargers new, and I will link those for you. So I hope that you've enjoyed setting the table with me. It's one of my favorite things to do at the holiday season. Let me know if you prefer look number 1, Thanksgiving on the checkered cloth, look number 1, the Christmas on the checkered cloth, the bonus look, which was the bare table Thanksgiving version, or look number 2, the Thanksgiving on the floral cloth, or again, number 2, the Christmas on the floral cloth. I would love to know, if you had to vote, which one you would vote for me to use for both occasions this coming season. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and leave me a comment letting me know what you enjoyed. Also, hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss any of these videos in your feed in the future. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you at the next video.